live. Hi, everybody. Hello. Buzz, 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 buzz,
Hi.
buzz. I'm Kimberly.
I'm Katie.
I'm Mary Payne.
Yay. And Katie and I are from the podcast A Date with Dateline, if you don't know us. And this is our thruple sister, Mary Payne from the Pink Shade podcast.
Hi.
But today we're talking about Yellowjackets. We've been just dying to talk about the last episode, really. First of all, there's going to be so many spoilers. I even put a ticker on the bottom to be like, hey, I know you're here to support and just want to hang out with us, and that's great, but this is not the time. You got to go, because I will be so stressed. This episode had a major spoiler. So if you did not see episode 6,
yeah, if you've only seen
come
5,
back later.
Come back later, but
come
watch
back later.
Mm-hmm,
Go back and then come back.
Has a huge spoiler.
What does it mean? What does it all mean? Oh my gosh, I feel so
Also-
stupid when I'm watching it.
Also, I made a board. I used up all my printer ink, and you can't even see it.
I can see
Can't
it.
even see who these people are.
I can. I
That's
can
okay.
see Misty's right above your head. You've got redheaded band to your right. Young. You've got adult Lottie to your left.
It's also very hard to
Brought a
point.
smaller whiteboard to the chat this time. Sorry, my lighting
Like,
to really go in and out on StreamYard.
Oh yeah, it does. You're very dark now. Katie.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know why it does that. It's fun times.
So I even drove to Joann's to get some new red string that you could see, because the kind that I came in the mail was very thin, and I thought, you're not gonna be able to see that on camera. And then I ordered this thing. And I don't know.
When you just
what's
pulled that out, I got a little scared. Like we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm a nun at a Catholic school.
Yeah. I've got nothing. I've got my 2 Sasquatches that you gave me over here. And I got my dog lamp, and I'm ready. And I feel so stupid because I listened to you guys last week. I was like, oh my gosh, they know so much. And I just like text you guys. I go, the girl with the red hair with the scar. Oh, yeah.
No.
Mary Payne she's the casual listener friend. She's not like the expert listener friend.
No, I'm not an expert, but I got a lot of thoughts, but I'm not an expert.
And
but
you
I've
went
watched
on Reddit.
I've watched it. I went on Reddit, and that was a mistake, but I'm going to do more of it right when we're done. Yeah.
So
Reddit's a dark hole, though. It's really easy there's so many theories that and they all sound good.
And then people yell at each other about their theories. Like, are you stupid? That would have never worked at the time. I'm like, oh no, this is why I can't go on Reddit, because everybody's going to be mean. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to just go under a different name and then have a thick skin.
You guys, my name on Reddit is Mary Payne too. So check me out. It's just Mary Payne. It's just right there.
So let's jump in.
Okay.
First of all, my first question is, so Lottie is really dead. I don't know why I had convinced myself at the end of 4 that it was like some sort of fake out, that she was not dead, but she appears to be very dead. We saw her autopsy.
Right. Because she went in and scraped under her nails or whatever she did. Misty's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Misty's so weird. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll get into who we think killed her, but we do have 3. I'm just jumping through my notes. We have 3 new girls. We have Robin.
Always new girls. Always.
Been
Where are they
there
coming
the whole
from?
time.
Who's Robin? What are you talking about?
There's some new girls in here. Robin and Britt. Okay. No one knows. No. It's not important. But they've been there the whole time. And then they recast Jen with a G. So, but they picked someone who looks fairly similar to her. So it's hard to tell. They also recast Aquila between 1 and 2. So, but now we're with this Aquila. And Aquila seems to be very important now. All of a sudden, she's they're just going to have her keep going in that cave and killing all of her brain cells, like making her do whippets all the time. And just like,
they
she's
haven't
just going to be.
She wanted to go in the cave.
Well,
because Travis keeps telling her, you're important. You have the visions. And then Lottie keeps saying, we need you to tell us that Ben is the bridge.
Travis doesn't want to have to do the mushrooms anymore. He's like,
right.
Can somebody else do it? Yeah.
So he's totally pointed the finger at her and was like, she's good with animals. The wilderness chose her.
Right,
Did
right.
we ever figure out where all those animals came from between season 2
The
and 3?
goat, there's like the rabbits I could see coming out of hibernation. The goats,
Okay.
I do not know where a goat came from. They're just like breeding goats in a lab or something. Where were all these animals in the dead of winter?
Where the ducks come from? They fly
The
in?
ducks,
They fly in?
Yeah.
Because they flew south for the winter and this is north? Like, I don't know.
that you nailed it. That's
Okay,
exactly
thanks.
what's happening.
Yeah, okay.
Travis is feeling guilty. You can tell that he's feeling guilty that Akilah keeps having to go in that whippet cave.
Sorry. So what happens in episode 5? In episode 5 is the
she
trial.
goes in. She has the trial, and then they're
The
gonna
trial
shoot
is
him.
in episode 4, correct?
The episode's 4. In episode 5, Taissa draws the card to have to shoot Ben.
Let's
And
start right there with the Suicide King, because I did not know there was such a thing. Has anybody heard of a Suicide King? Because Oliver informed me that there is definitely a Suicide Jacks, and it is the card actually has the knives looking like they're going like that, the swords.
Ooh.
The
oh,
Suicide Jacks is a
interesting.
thing, but he did not know about Suicide King. I just want to know if anybody has heard of that before, or is that something? Why are they using that? That felt important. It was weird.
Yeah.
So, somebody's
Yeah.
heard of it. Okay, great. So it's a thing. All right. But
Did in 5 is also where on the rabbit and on the leg.
I did not like that. I did not like
I
that at all.
texted you and said, if you're watching and you're not sure if they're going to do it, they're going to do it. So look away. And I wish somebody would have told me, because I was doing the,
First of all,
and then they did it, and I saw it.
I hate the rabbit thing. I hate it.
too,
And
me
then
too.
with the Ben thing, with that, his Achilles, that is a huge. That's
the Pet Cemetery thing, right? That's like the fear is that spoiler alert, if you have not seen Pet Cemetery, there's someone hiding under the bed and he cuts their Achilles, and it's like
it's in Urban Legend too with Joshua Jackson.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the urban legends that someone is hiding in a parking lot under your car, and then they cut your Achilles, and then they attack you at your car.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
I'm gonna throw up. I can't.
So it's horrible.
I can't.
Ever since that movie, I've hated ankle stuff, and then that was just
really
too much.
nauseous.
Okay, and then it's Shauna getting her new minion, Melissa, with the dumb hat. Take off your hat.
How dare you? They're in love.
So smelly. That hat has to smell so bad right now.
Yeah, the hat's rough.
We get it. We recognize you without the hat. You don't have to do it anymore. First 2 seasons, we needed the hat to recognize you. And she says you need to be okay with your darker side too, because now they're both embracing darker sides, and then they're going to go in the hut and make out with Ben's blood all over them. Nasty.
Sure.
Okay.
Katie, I've decided what your camera is doing.
Sorry, I'm trying to fix that really quick.
It's focusing and refocusing. And at one time I did a podcast with Landon Bryant, and he had a new laptop, and it was going in and out. It was whenever he would move, the camera would try to refocus on him. So I wonder if that's what's happening.
Yeah, just keep talking. I'm just gonna go dark for a second. It's okay.
Okay.
All right, she's going dark.
I'm sorry you could hear the squeaking. Ginger was playing with the squeaky toy, and I didn't think you guys could hear it. Apologies. She's done now. So, okay.
Jennifer says the Achilles scene almost made me want to stop watching the show, and yeah, me too. And when I tell you, I saw, and I wasn't looking, and then when they were showing the wound, I was like, I may have to, and I watched it right before bed.
Yeah.
Ooh, no. That's bad.
No, I don't like that. So they were gonna kill Ben. Taissa was gonna have to shoot him, even though she was acting like she didn't want to kill him, even though she led the charge at the trial against killing him. So
and she just
for killing
that rabbit. Yeah.
Yeah. But then she's like, I can't shoot him. He's Coach Ben. I'm like, what did you think that trial was for, Bisk? You were the prosecutor convicting him. So, but then they decide, because Akilah has this vision where Ben is a bridge that leads to them getting out of the wilderness. So they decide not to kill him, and they instead just pull a Kathy Bates and misery him so he can't leave. Yeah.
Okay, we got to get past it because I
I
really
don't
am
this
nauseous.
bothered me actually, the difference between him uh, this sort of attitude change, but the actual, like, him being shot, right? Him almost being shot against
Yeah.
the tree, Ben, and then
Yeah.
his complete change of heart in the next episode was
Yeah.
too drastic for me.
That
I
Yeah,
he
he's
that
like
he then wanted to die.
he's like
like, in
begging
the
for his
space
life.
right. He's begging. He's begging so much that the scene focuses on everyone crying, right? And
Yeah.
everyone being really, like, it was a very, like, turmoil scene. That's it, trauma. Like, everyone's upset, and Ty has to do this horrible thing. And then the next episode, he's begging for death for the
Right,
whole
because he can't walk anymore at all. Because
right.
I guess that was it for him.
But that was it. That's what I'm saying. That's where I think maybe I felt it a
And then
little
he goes on a hunger strike.
unbelievable.
And
Yeah.
but time did pass where he was going on the hunger strike, but he was the very first, like literally the day after they cut his Achilles, he was like, "Kill me, just kill me now."
Right,
So
but
yeah,
somebody's saying in the chat it could have been weeks. I mean,
no, it literally wasn't, because she checks on the wound and it's very fresh, and she's like, "It doesn't look infected," and he's like, "Kill me."
Right.
So I think it had just happened.
It's rough.
I don't think Shauna feels bad about anything.
Same.
Yeah, they're really not letting you like her.
No, she's very unlikable now.
She's very damaged. She's a very damaged person.
I know, but still.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not saying you have to like her. I'm just saying she's just damaged.
Yeah, she's still annoying. No wonder she produced Callie. Next to Callie, I wrote sucks. Just because I think Callie kind of sucks.
Again, she is a product of her environment. She is a child,
I know.
Kimberly.
I know. She's like going to be 18 soon. So, and then I can make fun of her fully. So,
Wow.
Okay, we're jumping around, but then Taissa goes to see Simone and Sammy, and I for sure thought Simone was dead. That was one of my theories that was totally wrong, because in the previous episodes, Taissa would just be like, "Simone's on the phone, I have to go," and we were like never seeing Simone, and I thought she had died in that car accident, but I guess she's alive.
No, we hear her on the phone, but this is an episode 5, right? That they go to see her, I believe.
Yeah.
That I feel like is the start of the real tell that this is not Ty.
This is bad Ty, I think.
This is bad Ty that we've seen for several episodes.
Like bad Ty, dude.
Bad Ty.
Makes you sick.
It's bad
It's
Ty
bad
stuff.
Ty, bad pad Ty, and it is gonna make. So up here I have bad Ty and adult Ty. So regular Ty, regular original recipe Ty, and bad Ty, and then man with no eyes.
Where's young Ty?
The youngsters are over here.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
there's Ty. So I think that's our first sign for sure. Many other signs that Ty is.
People are saying the dog is still. People are saying the dog is still alive.
No, she got a second dog in the last season. Okay. There was another dog that comes at the very end.
Yeah, but I think that dog went to Sammy, because I don't think she's taking care of that dog.
So maybe the dog was in the park with Simone and Sammy.
The dog might have been in the park with Sammy. Okay. So Van gets a call on a phone that is not attached to anything.
Didn't like that.
And it seems to be
Taissa.
That's
in episode 6. Yeah.
Yeah, Ty. Well, I'm just going through the list of Ty things.
Oh, Ty.
So she it's Ty saying, "Help me." And then later,
and that's what we know for sure.
Right. And then there's also other things, like she seems to be spending money like nobody's business.
Oh,
we don't know how she has all this money. She's also ordering a ton of meat, whereas old Ty was a vegetarian. And in the room service, she's getting like rare steaks. And So it's all very strange. And then she wakes up from like some sort of night terror and she says, "Help me." And then so
Right.
Van is starting to figure it out.
And
That
she's got that real scary bad tie look on her face when she's going, "Help me."
and they
She's
put in
got
the
this
red contacts.
she's got
so
those
they make
dark,
her
crazy
eyes.
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, they make her
Ugh.
eyes really. So Taissa saw Lottie the day that Lottie died. So
Mhm.
that is one possibility that Bad Tie killed Lottie
Mhm.
to cure Van's cancer, perhaps to give it what it wants.
To try to be like the final thing that would give.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
To cure
Maybe.
it instead of just putting it in remission, like the killing
Right.
of the waiter. The
Yeah.
death of
And
the
she
waiter
was
put it in
gone.
remission. Okay.
She was gone doing something, and Van was like, "Where were you? You
Yeah.
weren't there." And so that's one possibility. Okay. Going back to Lottie dying, those stairs that she died at were the apartment building that she grew up in that her dad lives in, her rich dad.
Mhm.
And it definitely seems to be the stairs that match Lottie's vision from season 1, where she's when she's in the wilderness and she has a vision where she's walking like under in a basement of some sort with pipes.
Yes.
And there's a staircase with candles and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she's flashing back to that building, and now she's died at those stairs. Her dad.
Why are there candles in that basement?
In the vision?
Yeah.
And when she died, there's candles all up and down the stairs.
There are, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That
so
seemed ceremonial.
absolutely.
Yes.
Like
Totally seems ceremonial.
Now perhaps she orchestrated her own death with Bad Tie. She took the money out of the bank and gave it to Lisa. So it's like she was wrapping things up, loose ends. So she maybe knew she had to die. I don't know.
Tell me about the giving the money to Lisa, because I'm trying to remember, because I was so mesmerized by Lisa, and then I was looking her up.
Yeah,
So I probably forgot
she
what
took
happened.
$50,000 out of her bank and gave it to Lisa, which she really owes money to everyone that was in her cult because she
Right.
had taken control of all of their finances. Katie, are you ever going to come back? I missed
I
your
am.
voice.
I'm trying. Yep. Keep going.
So yes, there were candles when Travis died too, and it was
Right.
in the pattern of this. It
Of
was
that.
this pattern.
The corner here on the screen. Yes.
Yeah. So
Up
she
there.
did give money to Lisa, which seemed like restitution or like taking care of Lisa. She felt badly.
Mhm. But why just Lisa?
Yeah, why just Lisa? No, why not that naked man that they made bury dig his own grave and go in the she did a lot of weird things in that cult. There were a lot of people that were probably very traumatized by that cult.
Or did she think Lisa was going to keep the cult going? And she wanted to give her some seed money to,
Yeah. Well, Lisa's not wearing heliotrope purple anymore.
Mhm.
And Lisa did call it a cult, which I was very proud of Lisa. I was like,
Yeah.
good for you. You recognized that you were in a cult.
You were in a
Good
cult.
job.
Yeah,
First
exactly.
step.
That
Yeah.
is the first step.
Yeah.
So, yeah, honestly, thank you.
I don't know
you.
why Lisa Lisa is a confusing addition to that episode.
Well, it's not for me. I was actually happy to see her because all season I've
Right.
been like, where was she? What
Right.
happened to her after this horrible event where she almost got killed? And then because of her, Natalie got killed. And it
Mhm.
was like the whole cult collapsed. That I did want to see that she was okay, at least.
Oh, you did?
But
Okay. I was more like, it feels like they do things with a means to an end, right? So if Lisa's being shown, we need to know. Sorry, it's doing it again. I turned it off. I don't know what's going on. Jake, help me.
That's fine.
If we can have if Lisa is getting the $50,000,
Okay.
Yeah.
what it means is that Lottie absolutely knew she was going to die at that point. That's why Lisa's getting the money. So whatever happened with Lottie knew what she was walking into in those stairs. She knew who she was meeting, whether it's Taissa or Shauna, or it's probably not either of those people is what I'm guessing.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody we've thought of yet, but it's not Lisa, right?
There's another theory that I'll get to. Yeah. Mhm.
Is it Walter? Is Walter the
No.
theory?
No.
Oh,
No.
Is it the theory that I just sent you on Reddit?
No.
Okay.
you sent a theory on Reddit?
Do you want to hear what it was or
Yeah,
no?
I kind of want to hear it. What is it?
Wait, we might
but
have to wait.
What was so Lisa was there to tell her what was going on with Lottie right before she died. Tell us exactly.
This is what the writers wrote her back to be
to
like.
Tell Misty too. Like Misty is doing this investigation going around town.
Yeah.
So also we got the line, "My trauma doesn't make me go all stabby," which was a good line. So
that was a good line. That was a good touch.
Yeah.
Mine does.
Okay, Mary Payne, do you want to say what your theory was?
Yeah,
well, it's a theory from
the Reddit theory.
It's not my theory. It's a theory from Reddit. And it is that Lisa is the child of Lottie and Travis, and Lottie was pregnant before they got rescued.
Wait, Lisa is the child of Lottie and Travis. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then she was pregnant when she got rescued, and that's why she went to the place in Switzerland or wherever, because she had to, take you away to have the baby. Then they let you come back. And you're writing it down? Wow, I feel seen. But I'm
gonna need to attach some red string because Lisa's down here, and she's not really attached to anybody.
And then it was a whole thing of like, if you remember in this episode and this season and this blah blah blah, that when the people had sex, that the forest, the woods, they like that.
Yes.
And things are given to them. So perhaps Lottie and Travis had sex, and the woods gave them what happened at the end of episode 6, which I'm not going to say because I'm scared to spoil it for people. Yeah.
Well, it's been how many years since they were rescued?
25.
What was the anniversary? 25?
20 or 25?
I think it was.
Either way, that would work.
That's from the first season, the reunion they're having. The age range would work with Lisa. Yeah. I always thought last season, I thought that Lisa was somehow connected to Natalie, and because they had that strange bond, and I thought somehow Natalie had given birth to Lisa from Travis.
Yeah, it could be that as well.
But Lottie is also good because.
But you have another Lisa theory, Kimber?
No.
I thought you said you did and you didn't want to share yet.
25 years. Yeah. So.
Thank you. 25 years. She seems she could be 25 years old. No, I don't really have another Lisa theory. I do agree that she probably has more in the bank than $50,000. Right. Lottie has a lot of money, I think. And so maybe she did give some of it to Lisa, some of it to the naked guy in the hole, whatever.
Somebody wrote naked guy deserved it. Yeah.
He did. He does deserve it. Also, I'm just realizing there's some symbolism where they had that guy live in his own grave and be reborn, and it's kind of like Pit Girl with there's some connection there.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about Pit Girl.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay. So
I have another thought about Lottie though, unless you're going to move on from Lottie. Are you going to move on from Lottie?
Lisa could be Lottie and Travis's baby, or Lisa could be Natalie and Travis's baby. Either way, the Reddit people were like, Lottie was so much nicer to Lisa than she was to the other cult members, and Lisa was just sort of like an assistant.
False.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't think she was nice to her.
No, because Lisa came up like this.
Yeah.
And then Lottie took a sip and was like, is there matcha in this? And she was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Charlotte. Terrified of her. So I don't know if that was her daughter, or it could be because Lottie's weird. Maybe
also dead. Maybe
also dead.
I guess.
Well, we're gonna find out who the fingernail DNA belongs to. I'll tell you that theory. Yes, Katie, I know what you were saying.
But I have one more theory on Lottie, actually.
Go for it.
No, I forgot it. It's okay.
Go ahead, Kimberly, with your theory, and then Katie, you'll remember yours.
Yeah.
So, when Shauna tells Jeff that Lottie's dead, Jeff goes, really? And I can't tell if that was like just because Jeff is a good actor because he plays dumb like very well, but
Yeah.
it was like really? Are you sure? Like it was such a weird reaction. And then later people noticed that he had scratches on his hand when they're in the motel. And so
Ooh.
people were theorizing that perhaps Shauna or Callie told him that Lottie gave Callie the necklace
Mhm.
that is the pit girl dying necklace. And he said twice in the past couple episodes, Callie, I will do anything to protect you. I'm never going to let anyone hurt you. So, like, could he have, in a rare aggression moment, killed Lottie to protect Callie? Now, I don't really think that's what happened, but I thought it was a fun theory. But people think that the scratches on his hand that are very prominent, if you rewatch the scene, they did have Shauna adopt that cat recently. So maybe that's what the scratches on his hand are, because it's like so obvious that they want you to notice that there are scratches on his hand. Because if it was just the actor had scratches, they would cover them. He's holding a can. He's holding it like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right.
I only noticed because of Reddit. And so, but they're really there, like bright red scratches. So he either killed Lottie, which is a fun theory, but it's probably from the cat, and it's another red herring. Walter would be another theory or red herring.
No, not Walter. He's not strong enough to even push her down the stairs, I don't think.
Has anybody said that it could be
How dare you?
suicide?
Who? Suicide. Oh, that's a weird way to kill yourself. Throw yourself down the stairs, crack your head open.
We've just had that theme play over and over right now, like in these episodes with
Suicide King and
and then him wanting to die. And so I'm wondering if she is doing a self-sacrifice for ? We don't know yet.
Think if it was, it would have been like we said before, where she arranged it with Taissa or one of the cult members to push her. I don't think she would like throw herself down the stairs. I think she would have maybe had someone do it, or her dad, and then maybe he wouldn't remember.
She would just have Natalie inject her. I don't know. Not Natalie. Sorry. Christina Ricci. Misty.
Oh, why wouldn't... Okay, so if Lottie was doing if she was though doing some sort of thing where she's meeting with Ty to do hey, we're gonna I need you to do this. What does Callie have to do with her needing to die? Because she was so focused on Callie at Shauna's. So Callie obviously plays a part. It feels like Lottie had a very specific reason for everything she was doing at the end. So I guess what I'm saying is, why would she... Was she protecting Callie? Did the wilderness tell her that, like, hey, Callie's next?
We want her next.
We want her next. Yeah. Okay.
And then maybe she arranged it with Shauna, and Shauna pushed her down the stairs as the sacrifice so it would spare Callie.
Or Jeff did.
We talked last time, Mary Payne, about like how Callie seems to be the only offspring of the wilderness, kind of like of those wilderness people, unless Lisa is one as well.
Nobody else has kids, right?
So an owl. It was an owl. Yeah, I think
it's an owl. There you go.
And Jeff got scratched by the owl.
Never an owl. Never an owl.
Always an owl.
Never.
So, talking about Callie or Lottie's dad and the building, is there some significance there? The fact that in her dream she was in the basement of her dad's building, and is there some significance when the dad is kind of out of it? He says to Misty, it was an accident, and so isn't going to get their loan approved, their money transferred if they don't go and say it's an accident. So he has ties, or did in the past. So people are speculating that he has had to cover up things in the past for Lottie, perhaps what happened in the wilderness, or some of the murders, like when they got back, they were maybe going to investigate things that happened, or since they got back, Lottie has hurt other people and he's had to cover them up, because that was his thing, was like, it was an accident and he better say it's an accident or I'm taking away his funding or whatever. So like
Right.
that has happened in the past.
Something like that has happened. Right.
Yeah. And
I
whether
don't.
it's the
That's a good point.
wilderness or like what happened in the wilderness, or the plane crash that he hired the plane for them. Somebody
what a
on
lot of
Reddit was
people
like,
think. Yeah.
he crashed the plane on purpose, but I don't think that he would. I don't think that's what happened. I think I don't know, it was a cheap plane, and I think the wilderness, if there is something weird, like draws people in because the
Yeah.
magnetic whatever,
Yeah.
the rust and the magnetic. But
Mm.
somebody said like maybe he was involved in some of the illegal mining stuff that's happening in that area,
Okay.
and there's some connection there. I don't think he would crash a plane with his daughter and all of those people for money, because he seems to really love his daughter in the flashbacks, even though he doesn't understand her.
Yeah. Agreed. I don't.
People are saying it could be Callie.
Although he did leave when she started having these visions. When she was a kid, like in the first season, there's a flashback and he's like, she's crazy, get her on medication and we can't deal with this, and the mom was like, there are things you don't understand, and he's like, no, we can't deal with her being like this. What could be Callie?
They're saying Callie could have pushed
That's
Lottie.
a good one. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
because I need somebody to tell me, if we're getting to it, about when they were in that hotel on the bed, and then with Callie, and I didn't understand about what was on the tape, and then Callie and mom were talking, and I'm just like, what?
Okay, so Callie sucks. She's a teenager, she's traumatized, whatever, she has very troubled parents. She put her phone on record,
right,
and then slipped it in her mom's purse,
okay,
so that she could hear the conversation and what was on the tape. However, for some reason, Shauna found that so upsetting that she has to leave this very important meeting when they have just discovered what's on the tape to go yell at Callie, which drove me insane. Like,
when she pulled that phone out of the purse, I was like, why was she recording that conversation? She's there. I was confused. I didn't realize it was Callie's phone. So when she came back inside,
really closely on the recordings, it's like Alana's cinnamon challenge, which is Alana is Callie's best friend, and also cinnamon challenge was so long ago. Girls, get with the program. Also, you can die from doing it. And then it was like Jim sucks. Like they were all like very high school things that were on the recording. But you also see her slip the phone in. And then
so what was on the tape? What was on the tape? What was on the tape? What was on it?
We know what was on the tape.
I know, but I didn't understand.
The tape was the last moment. So it's the bird watcher, the female in the group pressing record. Do you want?
And saying,
sorry, Kimberly, do you want?
No, you're right. Continue.
Yeah, she says testing, right, and then you hear the actual what happens at the end with them running around the fire. That's what you're hearing, and you hear Lottie scream no when she sees them. So you're hearing that in the tape, and that's when Van says, shut it off, after Lottie screams no.
Am I the slowest?
No.
I cannot believe that. I sat there and I was like, but what was on the tape? And then they showed that final scene with the screaming, and they're all screaming.
I'll give you some tips too. So, or some like other things. So Van is Googling, how long does a DAT tape survive outdoors?
Right.
And how does a DAT tape degrade outdoors? So whoever has that tape, she thinks it's been stored outdoors for like years now. So one of the people, I'm assuming we're jumping in. The birders at the end, we knew they were. Van says the only people who have DAT tapes are like punk rock garage band people and intense bird watchers. And then these people show up at the very end that appear to be hikers or bird watchers of some sort. So there's that connection.
Okay.
One of them says, what's going on? Oh my God, what is this? And then you hear the girls. So one of them was recording that, and
Okay.
it's been saved for all of these years, and now someone is using that to blackmail these girls. And
Okay.
it's either someone, I'm assuming next episode they are going to kill these hikers, bird watchers, because they have seen what they have become in the wilderness. They saw Coach Scott's head and that they were eating him. And I think they are going to maybe have a trial and decide if they're going to kill them or not. And they're going to hunt them or something. However, another theory would be that since these bird watchers are going to disappear, and we're assuming they're not going back. They're not making it back because they would tell everyone about these girls in the wilderness, and there's a winter to come before they're rescued. So we know that
How do you know that?
because they get rescued after the second winter.
Okay.
And
We
we
think
we're 100% sure because they were there for 19 months. And
they say that. They say 19 months.
They say 19
Okay.
months.
So we can actually
and we
count
haven't
them. Okay.
Yeah. And if Pit Girl is in that timeline, then that is in the winter also, and the second winter hasn't come yet. So they are rescued shortly after the second winter, I believe. People have done the math. So these
Okay.
hunters, these hikers, bird watchers don't make it back, I'm presuming. So people would probably go looking for them. If they're there to do some sort of study for birds, maybe the weird noises in the forest that make screams,
Yeah.
maybe there's an endangered bird that's there. When I'm jumping around, sorry, but on the ice cream shop voicemail, you know, the weird ice cream shop that
Yeah.
Taissa and Van went to, there was a phone number. People called that and it said the screams are not what they seem, which is, thank you Reddit, a direct connection to Twin Peaks, which the line in Twin Peaks was the owls are not what they seem. So we're hearing the screams are not what they seem, and Twin Peaks is the owls are not what they seem. So people are saying those weird screeches in the forest that we keep hearing are like some sort of owl thing. It's always an owl. And
Never
maybe
an
that's
owl.
maybe that's what the bird watchers are there to study. And some people speculated they put out those noises to draw in these rare kind of birds or something, and it's like speakers set up to like make that sort of crazy noise to bring out animals. I don't know if that's what
And it just happens to happen whenever they kill a
that's
rabbit or something.
Right, whenever they're screaming at the sky and doing their weird chanting. That's why I don't really buy that. But people would probably come looking for these hiker bird watchers if they go missing. So
but people are looking for this lost soccer team.
But they don't know where they crashed because Misty broke the black box. So they have no idea where they are. So the bird watchers, people, whoever is behind this study or knows these bird watchers, would kind of know where they were going. So perhaps they send people out for them, and that's eventually how they get rescued.
Yes.
Because in that vision that Akila had, Ben is the bridge. And I'm thinking if they killed him, then how is he the bridge? But the hiker bird watchers walk up and see Ben's head and they say, "What the F?" And so then they get killed. Then people come looking for them and find the girls. So maybe that's how Ben is kind of the bridge. Also, I found it very fun that after they hear the tape, the adult women in the car, when they hear the tape, Taissa goes, "What the F?" after Shauna like leaves and they heard the tape. And then that's exactly what the bird watcher says when he looks and he sees Ben's head. He says, "What the F?" And then the episode ends.
Did we ever see them put anybody's head on a stake before?
Well,
I don't recall
Shauna
ever seeing a head on a stick like that.
Shauna said we have to honor him. Like we have to do our ceremony and like honor him. So I don't know if the head is like the new thing they're doing. They did not do it for Javi. And they didn't do it for Jackie.
They didn't do it for Jackie.
So I don't know. But because of they left that head out, because I think if they hadn't left the head out, if they had buried the head or something, the bird watchers might have just thought they were eating like deer or
Deer.
something.
Yeah, or they got
And
goats. I don't
so,
know.
but they had to do the head, leave the head out, you know? So,
Right.
It's got to mean something. I got to get back on
so do
Reddit
you
after
think
this.
they are going to now kill these people
Yeah.
or
I think they're
keep
gonna kill
them
one of them.
hostage?
One of them.
Did we see the woman? Because I know
Why
we
would
saw
they
the
not
guy.
kill all of them? There's a woman as well.
I think
I'm
the
just-
woman might be Hillary Swank.
No.
Okay,
No,
no.
it's not.
Okay, but
That-
is
It's
that
not.
woman? Is that woman Pit Girl?
Maybe. Look at the hair.
Look at the hair.
Dark
Could
hair.
be
Here's
Pit
the
Girl.
question is though, how would that
Also,
woman
this
get
guy
her
was
hands
on
on the
Veep.
necklace? Remember the Pit
He
Girl's
was on
wearing the
Veep.
necklace.
Yeah.
Right, but they are
How-
doing that as part of their ritualistic hunt. So if they're going to hunt her, they would put
But
the
I would
necklace on
not
her.
think she would be captured. My thought would be that she escapes and is running around in the woods, and in that case, she wouldn't have a white nightgown, right? That's not a normal thing to have in the woods. If you were a bird watching team, they're probably not even staying the night. The bigger question of these two people, of which it floored me. I was like, I could not believe that actual people came in to the show. But how far are they away? Where's their car? Like where?
Right.
They're on foot.
Right.
They don't see like bags or something. So
No.
I don't see like huge backpacks, but I'm assuming
It's not
they're
Joel McHale, is it? No, it's the
No,
guy.
that's not
No.
Joel McHale.
It's the guy from
it's
Mad
the guy
Men.
from Veep. And
Yeah, and
he's
Veep
on a
and
bunch
Mad
of
Men.
stuff.
Yeah,
He's on Veep.
but-
But Lottie sees them first. Well, Lottie has a weird moment right before it happens. So
Mhm.
they're all like eating. Misty starts humming.
Mhm.
And then Lottie says, "No, this isn't how it was supposed to happen. This is
Yeah,
wrong."
That's weird, right?
And then she glitches. She gets that static glitching that's like from a VHS tape that's in the opening credits a lot, like an alternate dimension kind of weird glitch. She stands up and then she does the screaming thing to the wilderness, and the wilderness is screaming back. And then she sees a man walking that is not this man.
Right.
And she says, "Ben." So people think, but he's walking. So people think, and our Ben is dead and couldn't walk. So people think that's his spirit maybe leaving, because he kind of like nods at her as he walks away. And then that's when these people enter, which again is kind of like he's the bridge to like something happening.
Are you seeing these notes? Jax Attacks says, in season 1, someone said that Nat was the reason they were rescued, or they wouldn't be there without Natalie. So I wonder if that's because she killed Coach Ben, which prompted the screaming ritual, which prompted the people to find them.
Say that first part again.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from New Girl as well. Yeah, and he took Zooey Deschanel camping or hiking on New Girl, which is a big crossover. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, a couple things. First of all, Caitlin says, imagine your life's work is dedicated to this one bird species. You end up meeting your demise after stumbling upon the female Lord of the Flies. That's pretty good. And then we have talking about the head on the stick, and Jennifer says, well, Ty ate Jackie's face, so they couldn't have done that. And then they did do something with Javi's heart, so that was the ritual there. Now,
Travis ate his heart.
In season 1, Jax Attack says, in season 1, someone said that Natalie was the reason they were rescued, or that they wouldn't be there without Natalie. And I wonder if that's because she killed Coach, which prompted the screaming ritual thing.
That seems like a stretch. That seems like too many steps. To me, it seems
the bridge.
more. Yeah. I think that Natalie comment was more because she was their queen and she fed them. But it's possible she was the one that killed him and the screaming, but they don't get rescued by these bird people. I 100% don't think these bird people are getting them rescued.
No, and they're just going to, when they come in, they're going to be like, what bird people? We don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
That chick's
exactly.
Yeah.
So it is like another step. It's maybe the rescuers of the bird people that rescue them. I think
they're getting ready for winter by stuffing stuff into
Winter starts they do the pit girl thing, and then perhaps the rescuers get them. I don't know.
And they ate the rescuers because they need meat for the winter.
But yeah, and they're definitely going to pretend they never saw the bird people for
But
100%.
this is the last winter, correct?
Yes.
So whatever's happening is fairly soon.
Correct.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
There's 5 seasons, right? This is season 3. We know there's 5 seasons. We're in episode 6 now. Do we know how many episodes total? Are we right in the middle?
That's a really good question. Maybe
they
10?
were all 9 or 10.
Okay.
So last season they were all 9, and one episode was 9, one season was 9, and one was 10. So it's going to be around there. We
Probably
still
10.
have that Lost episode that is like a one-off about the cabin daddy with Jason Ritter that we still haven't gotten. So I'm pretty bummed about that.
And Hilary Swank is supposed to be on here, but we don't know who she's going to be yet.
So people thought she was Melissa. This is her from the preview. People thought she is Melissa, who either was rescued with them or was rescued after and is seeking revenge. One of the theories on Reddit, and I think that's the one you sent, was like that people, and we discussed it previously, Katie. I know we did last season. We thought, what if there's another group that didn't get rescued and they're pissed they didn't get rescued,
or chose to stay there, or whatever,
or they chose to stay in the wilderness because they liked it and it was in nature and blah blah blah. But then they came back and sought revenge. So if
we also
Melissa,
think they might come back, right? We think they might come back.
Came back, they would maybe be mad about things. So Katie gets very weird. I wrote psycho stalker vibes next to Melissa about Shauna. She's just very weird about Shauna. And
Katie is?
Yeah. And
no, what do you mean?
Katie, she's talking about
Katie thinks Melissa is like the person who's like whispering in Shauna's ear, like, you have all the power, you can do this, blah blah blah. And
I don't get a good vibe from her.
Not good vibes. So in the present day, could she be the one that's targeting Shauna? Because this threats have come specifically against Shauna. It was Shauna's brakes. Shauna was locked in the freezer, and Shauna got the tape at her house. Why is this person not going after Taissa or Van? If this person is connected to the bird people and is seeking revenge about that, why are they not going after? Why are they only going after Shauna? Maybe because she was the queen at that time and she made the decisions, because now she's queen. I wrote queen, new queen, but with a sucky attitude. But why are they not going after Taissa or Van? Or did this person that is doing these threats kill Lottie? Like,
could be.
Or is it someone from the wilderness, from the Yellowjackets, like Melissa, who is seeking revenge specifically on Shauna for...
But why is she coming now? Why are we seeing her now? That makes no sense, right? Why all of a sudden we're seeing her? That seems ridiculous.
Someone else on Reddit said that it could be Akilah that's doing all this, because Akilah has gassed herself out and gets left in the cave, and comes back later. Or they say when they all get rescued, they blame Ben's murder on Akilah, and she's in prison and she just got out. I mean, there's just so many like, yeah. Or they could have blamed it on Melissa easily, because they've been like, look at her.
Well, I think what going back to like the Lottie, her dad paying people off, I think if they come back, he will have all the authorities say that everyone who's dead died in the plane crash. They didn't survive past the plane crash, because then you don't have to explain weird murders or Javi being dead or anything. You just go, they died, we buried them, but we don't know where the bodies are buried. Like,
interesting.
It very much parodies this book that I just finished reading, if anyone's interested, called The Perfect Couple. And it's about a reality show.
You told me.
Dating. It's like Temptation Island.
Yeah.
Temptation Island. And it's couples that go to this desert island to film this reality show. And then there's a huge hurricane and it turns into Lord of the Flies. And then they have to realize, like, somebody is killing people and they don't necessarily want them to be rescued anymore, because if they're rescued, they might have to go to prison for what they did. or they're going to have to rewrite history to explain how these people
Are they
died.
eating them too?
No, they're not there that long, but
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't go that far. That's why I
Okay.
only give it 3 stars. I need people to be eaten to give it 5 stars.
You need to read Fantastic Land.
I'm dying. I'm on a wait list for Fantastic Land.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, well-
Katie said it's really good.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, I don't know. I'm writing that down too.
Fantastic Land is really, it's
So-
really, really good.
Write that
Hillary
down too.
Swank, I don't think could be the daughter of the bird watchers because she's too old, unless she was like also
it's-
fully grown. Back.
Show me the
when-
picture of Hillary Swank again, because I've just have heard. I didn't. Okay, so where's this from?
So in the preview for the whole season, she is outside of a car on like a road, and she looks and she's like, "Oh my God." And then she starts running from someone, and she's already all bloody.
She's already injured,
Yeah.
so somebody's trying to get her.
Another theory is that Walter is the son of the bird watchers, because
Oh,
again, he would already have to be 15 or so. But people are like, well, where Walter has all this money, he says he got it because he got hit in the head with some concrete or something at a construction site. But what if he was paid off by Lottie's dad because the group killed the bird watchers, and then Lottie's dad paid off at the bird watchers family, which would be Walter, and that's how he got all that money? Because he still seems to be like when he came into this group last season, we were like, he has to be connected somehow, or is he just,
I think he might be like a surprise at the end, like in final seasons. I think we might find out what Walter's up to. That's my thought.
Okay, so if Walter is connected in some way and he's not just a random guy who happens to be perfect for Misty and likes the exact same things that she does, was Adam, going back to the first season, just some random guy who fell for Shauna, or was he connected somehow? And we're going to find that out at the end. He did have those huge tattoos on his back that were of the wilderness.
Mountains or whatever. Yeah.
They were all mountains.
Really weird.
Yeah. Anybody said, dig into that, like draw it out, and does it make the shape and all that?
I don't know if it makes the shape, but he did say, like, I want to take you to like my friend's cabin in the woods. And like, so is everything connected, or is it like you don't need everything to be connected? But I think on a show like this, they want to make everything connected with red string somehow, you know?
So why does this season feel so weird? Like until this moment, like until Bird Watchers, I've been a little pretty grumpy, and I know Mary Payne's been grumpy, right? About
real grumpy.
Well, Mary Payne picks on little things, like the Sharpie drawn on scar on Van's face.
They're not great.
It's not great.
This is a big budget situation. And by the way, Van is a redheaded lady like me, and we scar very well. Her scar would not look like that. I've got scars on my face. You can't even see. It would have faded into it may be raised, but it would be faded into a very light pink. It would not be.
What bothers me is that it's not raised, but maybe enough time has passed. And there's no Neosporin out there.
But since then, she could have literally put a Mederma patch on it. Like, I mean, so that bothers me. And the acting when Lottie arrived at Shauna's house when they were about to go out to that dinner, the acting between Shauna, Lottie, and Jeff was local theater at best. I mean, it was like, oh my goodness, what are you doing here? Well, I guess you'll just stay here with my daughter. Let me call Misty. Okay, here's the phone. I was like, okay, listen.
I think they go for slapstick sometimes, and it doesn't land.
We like dark comedy. We don't need slapstick.
I think they go for like a farce, like Katie, what are those where like people are coming and going, those kind of farces where people on stage are like coming and going and bumping into each other in different costumes, like a French farce. And
like Moliere, like
like Moliere.
I'm forgetting what it's called. Yes, exactly.
But they don't. It doesn't always land. Like
no.
But Jeff's reaction to when Lottie was dead was so strange to me. He was like, "Really?" Like,
yeah.
And then what I didn't understand at the scene on the bed. Okay, did she slip the phone in the purse before she slipped the phone in the purse before she went outside to talk to Van and Ty? But then when she came
Yeah.
back in, that was a weird conversation where she's like, "We will always protect you." And it seemed like she's trying to tell Callie, like, you know something and you shouldn't know it. And I was like, what's that about?
No, she's like, "Don't
Oh,
spy on me,
Yeah.
Fisk." And then
Mhm.
Callie realizes the recording is still on the phone in the deleted section because
Oh,
Shauna didn't know to
she
delete the
doesn't know.
deleted,
Delete the
and
deleted in the
it
words of Salt
stays
Lake
on the
City. Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
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 And so she's gonna hear the call. She's not gonna know what it means, but
Right. It's just a
they
lot of
basically
screaming.
just but they said they're screaming and a no, and then Van says, "Anyone who knows about this is either us or dead." So
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 she'll
the
hear
2
that.
bird watchers are definitely, and also that means they're definitely dead. We get that, right?
yeah, I think
Either
1000% the bird watchers are dead. So
Okay.
I think either one of the Yellowjackets stole the tape and brought it back to
or had it this
whatever
whole
with
time.
them
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and has had it this whole time, or it's someone connected to the bird watchers that somehow got the tape.
Walter.
Um, Walter,
Walter.
perhaps. Walter
Son.
dresses like a bird watcher.
Yes, he
Walter
does.
would not
So
surprise me if he was a bird watcher, right?
doesn't he dress like that? Like
Yeah,
he
he
has
does.
kind of like
He
the outdoor,
absolutely does.
like the Patagonia gear and stuff. Like I could
Yep.
totally see him.
Mhm.
The point I was wondering too about the bird watchers is it was at night. So why are you bird watching at night? Aren't the birds asleep? I'm confused.
Owls, Mary Payne. Owls. So also if they're camping out there and they hear a commotion, then they might go investigate at night.
But if they're just
And maybe
camping
they're
right there, they would have found them. They're always out in the wilderness looking for things.
but they were screaming so loud with the forest screaming so loud, but they heard it from a far distance away.
It makes no sense. Makes no sense. The bird watchers were lost. They had been sucked in by that like mineral field and they were
I'm
lost
liking
too.
the Callie killed Lottie because if she killed Callie, I mean, Callie killed Lottie, then
Mhm.
confessed to Jeff what happened,
Uh-huh.
then Jeff's reaction would be like, "Are you sure? Really?" Like it would be so strange.
Mm. All right.
Hold
Sewing
on.
for my dog said she just
Yeah, she said
explained.
you just explained. I couldn't post. My bestie is a master birder and said that Lottie's cries were likely being returned by a group of stellar jays, which is a mimic sound in that area.
What
Lottie's
area?
cries were okay, so like in like a mockingjay,
Mm-hmm.
like in Hunger Games.
In Mhm.
Hold on. And she said that the birders absolutely would hike for days and camp to find certain species, and it was a migratory time, so there would be birds flying through there on the crazy winds. Okay.
And this is assuming we're in like British Columbia or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeping
Canada.
Mhm.
listen
Yeah.
to the birds at night. She explained that birding in the thick forest is all about bird calls and sounds because it's harder to spot them. Um, I saw they were looking for migratory birds. Okay, I saw something.
What's
That
cool is that Misty has birds. Yeah.
I saw
yes,
something
that's
A
on
yeah,
Reddit.
bird.
with Misty with the birds too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I saw something on Reddit about. Now I wish I hadn't seen it, and I don't know if I should.
Just say it. Just say it. Just do it.
All right. Here's what I read, and it was someone's theory is that they're going to stop talking in the camp. Period. They're going to start going nonverbal, which is why when we see the Pit Girl theme, which is why I wanted to come back to Pit Girl, like because when we see that, how like she's caught and then we don't hear anything, we don't see anything. They're all like silently
Mhm.
eating. And remember, now we know how far along we are in the wilderness. Pit Girl is not far away from where we are now. We're like what, maybe 4 months out from that?
I would say
Maybe
even less.
I
Yeah.
3
think I
months.
think Pit Girl is the birder, and I did not read that on Reddit. It did come from my own brain. But yeah.
Mhm.
You think Pit
And
Girl
they
is
go
happening? Okay.
nonverbal because of the
Because they're
birds
worried
that
about more they want to be found under their circumstances, right? So they know
Mhm.
that what, people are gonna come looking for these bird watchers that have gone missing, and so, I don't know, it's something about wanting to be found at the right time. I don't
Mhm.
I don't know. And I think it might be why we see Lottie when she gets on the plane. Remember, she turns and screams. Do you guys remember that from season 1? In season 1
Yes.
or 2, we start getting flashes of them getting on the plane immediately after they're rescued, and Lottie like turns and just like
She screams at all the
blood fucking
reporters,
scream.
and
Yeah,
then
Does she say
they
words
say
or she just says,
no,
ah?
she says
screams
and
like in the
then
Quiet
she's
Place when Jim, sorry, from The Office, what's his name? I'm forgetting his name.
John Krasinski.
Thank you, John
Yeah.
Krasinski. What's wrong with me? When he screams, like
Well,
Yeah.
at the end, it's that
I don't
kind
watch I don't watch scary movies. That's why this is so upsetting to me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay,
Gosh, this must be
she's
rough for you.
It's
Yeah, I'm
rough.
sorry, Mary Kate. This is
she
trauma.
stops Katie, she stops talking after that though. Lottie, after she's rescued, stops talking, and her parents are so concerned they bring her to doctors because she won't speak.
Is this when she goes to
after they're
Switzerland?
rescued.
I
And
think
they
there is a
send
chance
her
she has
to
stopped talking before that, is what
Right.
I'm saying.
But everyone stopped
Yeah, no,
talking or
I'm
just
saying
Lottie?
that-
They think everyone stopped talking. This is somebody's theory on Reddit, is that they go
Well, it's going to be an interesting show with nobody talking.
Well, it's going to be super creepy. And also, like, I have to say, I don't like
But
this whole treatment of Natalie. I was very upset. I just wanted, you guys were talking about it earlier, and I think I was trying to fix my camera. I just wanted to put that in there. I was very
Oh,
upset
yeah.
that they made her cut up the body and do all that. That's it.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
like the way they treat Natalie. She was not really respected as I don't think she was meant to be the leader anyway. But
No.
Which means she's probably best for the job, which sucks, right?
yeah.
She was fair and good and like had a really good balance of the spiritual stuff that she knows they're all into, and
Yeah.
maybe she kind of feels like she has to be into, but then also like taking care of business.
But they walked all over her, like Shauna and Mari, they all walked all over her, and then at the trial, she completely lost control, and they did that weird vote that made no sense, and she had, like, no control. So, I don't think she was ever, like, firm enough to make it happen.
So how many people are we about to lose right now? Because if we're almost a pit girl, we see them all lined up in their weird animal skins at the pit girl scene. Is it 11 of them? How many girls are in that? We have we have an antler queen in the middle, surrounded by, which now we think might be Shauna, although Shauna is making me nuts.
Yeah, bad, attitude. We are about if we are only months away from rescue,
Yes,
we are
can you
about to
put a picture?
lose many people. We're
We're
gonna
about
have
to lose a slew of people.
Okay.
who
are we losing?
Natalie is rescued, Shauna's rescued, Taissa's rescued, Misty's rescued, and Lottie's rescued. New friends, the bird watchers are our new friends. They're both gonna die.
They're, in our opinion, they're going to die.
Van is rescued. Coach Scott.
No, but I'm asking, do you have a picture of the pit scene when they're all eating and Antler Queen's in the
No.
middle and there's the number of girls?
No, but it's probably Mari, who doesn't get rescued. Melissa, who doesn't get rescued or is back now and gone crazy and is Hillary Swank. Jen doesn't get rescued. Robin and Britt don't get rescued.
Because we don't know them.
Akila doesn't get rescued.
Okay, I've got them. So we've got
But we don't know if Akila
one,
gets rescued.
2, 3.
I don't
4,
think you
5,
should focus
6,
so
7.
much on
Yeah,
the counting because
yeah,
I think
but there's 7.
they just keep adding people and taking people away. Like
Oh,
the counts don't match up to what matched. Like people counted at the plane crash when they did the funeral at the plane crash with the bodies.
Yeah.
People counted. It doesn't match up. So like it's all messed up. So I think they're just hoping we're not counting. Crystal, where is the body?
we
So
don't. I'm just wondering because it makes it. I thought for the whole time, if
8.
people keep
Everybody's saying
talking-
8. Everyone's saying 8. There are 8 people.
People
So there's
keep
Antler
talking.
Queen plus 7.
So because people keep talking about how they might divide into groups, right? This would maybe be I would think it would have just happened where like people would have gone with Natalie and gone with Shauna, but that's not happening.
It doesn't seem like anyone wants to go with Natalie, and I don't know why.
But here's the question. What if Melissa is, as Katie thinks, has got this power, or Akila's got this power,
vibes,
and they divide, and Akila or Melissa is the head of one group, and none of those people make it out, and Shauna or is the head of another group and everybody makes it out.
Yes, we did think there was a group that maybe decided to stay and didn't want to be rescued.
Or they're
and a
all in the
group
cave when the rescue happens and they're all on whippets and they don't come out.
Right, but the girls know where the cave is, so unless there's bad blood, they
Right.
wouldn't let those people not be rescued.
The sharks
But
and the jets, they don't care.
well, that
They're in
yes,
a dance fight.
if there is this bad
They're in
blood.
death battle
Well,
for their lives.
what's funny is from the first season, we guessed because there was that split with Coach Scott in the first season. He didn't
Mhm.
like the wilderness stuff. He didn't like them eating people. He didn't like it. So we thought they're going to leave him there and not tell the rescuers that Coach Ben is out there. That didn't happen. But I do think we are building to either all these people just suddenly die before they get rescued in the next winter, which is possible,
Maybe.
or they are left behind either on purpose or through malicious acts.
Do we ever see the amount of people that get off the airplane?
No, people have
Yes.
tried.
Try to count that.
I
Okay.
think people have tried. I think it's been cut, right?
It's cut very edited
Quick.
very closely, and it
Yeah.
is just the people we've seen so far. There's no one else because there's a lot of reporters around too, so
Mhm.
it's hard to tell, but people have analyzed like shot by shot. They never saw Melissa, they never saw like Jen,
Oh,
Akilah.
Melissa's going down. I don't know how, but Melissa's going down.
Or
She may-
Melissa's getting left behind. Or
yeah.
Melissa is getting left there, and Shauna has to make the choice to get out or to make sure that Melissa gets out and she gets out.
It's like the Titanic. You have to choose.
And because I think there's something that happens, which is why
I
the idea of Melissa stalking her now is very scary to Shauna. Like, because it's like, oh no,
I
she
feel
must
like
have died.
it
But-
could be like we'll get rescued, but we have to leave people behind because the wilderness wants to keep people. So, but we'll be allowed to be rescued
Ooh,
if the
yes.
wilderness gets
Yes.
to keep people.
So
And
Akilah,
so
who can speak with the wilderness, stays.
either is sacrificed and they make her stay, or she volunteers to stay.
Or they
so
tie them
that
in the
they
cave
can go.
and they can't stay.
Literally, they tie them in the
Yeah,
caves
they
and
tie them
say,
in the cave.
you have to stay.
You have to stay. Oh my gosh, that might be where we're headed. I don't know. We have 2 seasons left.
Because
so
they're all about making a deal with the wilderness, and the wilderness is not going to let all of these people go.
no. All I know is that I need more in the wilderness and less in the current timeline. If I can make that request, that'd be great.
Well, this
Anyone
I
else?
agree.
Jessica is saying, have you guys not seen the post on Reddit where there's an interview that says they are not bird watchers, they are scientists, and there are 3 of them. And somebody else says, yes, I saw the thing about 3 scientists from an interview with the actor who plays Ben.
Yeah, I think there's more. I don't think it's just.
Scientists.
I don't think it's just these 2 people. I think there's probably more of them. But
And there are other people who are
don't-
back at camp and they're going to come look for them or whatever.
something
Now I
like
need
that.
to know about science again because now we're back
But
to the weird
I
gas.
do think bird watching is involved because specifically of what Van said. Van said, Taissa goes, who uses DAT tapes anymore? And Van says either garage band people or really intense birders. And then she goes, oh my God, get your things. We have to go.
They could be
So-
aviary scientists.
Aviary scientists.
I'm sure that's a thing.
Can we also just really quick hit on the fact, if you guys haven't hit on it already, that they have completely stopped looking for a way out. Completely. Like
Because
zero.
I mean, when they tried in the first season, Van almost got killed and their compass didn't work. So
you
they
might
couldn't-
need to try again.
And the
I'm
airplane
saying that's not a
exploded.
good enough reason to stop. Go a
and
different
the airplane exploded.
Why didn't they ever make a boat?
Right.
try
Try
yeah.
anything. I understand that
Because
people
that's
die.
a lake, Mary Payne.
Oh, so it just goes in a circle?
Yeah.
maybe
we
there's
had
some
the
beautiful
same
lake houses on the
conversation
other
last time.
side.
Maybe there's an inlet. We don't know.
Maybe there's a lake community on the other side.
Yeah,
I'm just
I think
saying,
when
wouldn't you
it was
keep
warm
moving a
out,
little bit?
Yeah.
they did all of their tracking during that first winter where they mapped it all out and they almost like died and they were all frostbitten. Travis and Natalie would go out every day and they would map out like segments, like a full on search
Sure.
party, like on Dateline, like they did grid searches.
Sure.
And they
Sure.
could have been doing that also in this nice summertime.
You think?
Also,
How
like,
long is the spring and summer? That's when you really do it. And you
you
say,
could
okay,
ride on that goat. Just
you pack enough for 3 days and you do
find
like
a horse.
3 to 5
There's-
days to like
Yeah.
go and this is ridiculous. I just don't understand why they've given
But
up on the getting it.
the wolves at night are quite dangerous, as per Van's
Sleep in the
Scott.
tree.
Ornithologist. And people say Joel McHale is the third scientist.
Oh, okay.
If that's true, I'm very happy. I do love Joel McHale.
I like to see him in anything. Yeah.
Yeah. But
I can still be annoyed with that. I feel like they should have. I feel like they're all getting into this weird. I mean, it tracks for how weird they behave in the current time. But yeah.
But do you think
they're
also
like,
if they've only got one man left, then they are like, because we're here now, we're going to have to start populating. So
no,
get to
because
work, Travis.
I had
they
a
saw
thought
what
on that.
happened.
Mhm.
No, they saw what happened with Shauna's baby. They don't
Mhm.
want another mouth to feed. They don't want someone to have to give birth out in the wilderness and probably die. I don't think they want to deal with any babies. So I don't see them wanting to populate.
Disagree. They would be very into that dead baby. Very.
Well, they would have if it lived, but it, they're
into it when it's not alive, and they're into it.
But I just don't think they're purposely going to try to have babies. I think that's bad news. They know how dangerous it was for Shauna to give birth in the wilderness. I don't think they want that. Why would they want to start?
You think that they're thinking like logically. You're like, they would never.
Said it when she was pregnant, because when she was pregnant, they were like, I don't want to die in the wilderness. Women die giving birth all the time in hospitals. Like, I don't want to die in the wilderness. So, and she did almost die. She lost so much blood.
Teenagers don't think about that when they're boning. Do you know what I mean?
I couldn't disagree more. I think that would be so dumb. They were like, then you
somebody's
have
pregnant. Somebody's pregnant, and the baby is Lisa.
Can someone remind me
could be an accident,
why Natalie and Travis don't talk? What was their falling out?
Will they or won't they? They got into a fight, many fights, and then he slept with Jackie, and then
that was season 1.
Yeah, that was first winter. But then Javi died and Natalie was supposed to die. Travis saved her by saying, Natalie, run. And he distracted the girls so she could run away. But then Javi ended up dying in her place. And he kind of got over that, it seemed like. But that seemed to be when they stopped like sleeping together because of that situation. They never really slept together again after he slept with Jackie.
They're not explaining it. That's for sure. They're not giving
just, and then he kept getting erections around Lottie, which was weird.
That's why they were saying that, because Lottie and Travis could do it. But by the way, he doesn't have condoms out there. If he bangs enough girls, somebody's getting pregnant.
Ben brought a lot of condoms, and Travis goes, what were you planning on doing? We were only going to be there for like a few days. And Ben was like, shut up, because Ben brought a lot of condoms. So they do have some condoms, but not a lot.
Ben had
not like an unlimited supply. I know.
Also, I have a question. Is there something is there some sort of symbolism in her stabbing Ben in the heart?
I was thinking the throat would be.
I was thinking, oh no, I was shouting at the screen. I was like, give him the knife, walk away. You don't need to be here for any of this, and no one will ever know who gave him the knife. Put the knife in his thing, let him do what he needs to do or wants to do, and you say, I'm so sorry, goodbye, and then walk out. I have no idea why she felt she had to do this. This absolutely could have just been left in his hands, and then she would have been sort of, I don't know who gave him the knife.
Yeah, that would have been.
It would have fallen on Misty probably, because Misty had been the one feeding him lately. But
yeah,
I'm just saying.
Natalie forgave Travis. I'm sorry, Travis forgave Natalie for that. So that was not what their falling out was.
So my thought is, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, that would have been way smarter.
But
no
do
accountability.
You think that there's a reason she got him in the heart. Like, is that symbolism for something?
I
Because you know
think
how
it was
Travis ate the heart?
fastest.
Like, there's stuff
Yeah, I
with
think
hope in this.
there it is. It's like honorable, like
Yeah.
to eat the heart and to, I think that was the fastest, least painful way to do it, probably. Um
I feel
that's
like maybe. I
I
don't
mean,
think
he
so.
wanted to be
It's
shot in the
the most
head.
painful, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
That
it
Well,
feels
he
seems
didn't
very
it didn't
painful.
seem to hurt him. He seemed to be just like, "Okay, thanks. Like, I'm
Oh, and
fine
then
now," you
people in the
know?
comments are saying they don't know if he had the strength to do it.
could you just stab through the bone like that? I'm just
I
feeling
don't
it.
know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
Yeah.
just had some questions. It just
Mm.
seemed she'd sentenced him to death and promised him he'd die. Okay. I
Yeah,
still feel like
that's why
it's
she goes,
still
"I kept a promise to him." But,
okay. You would have still kept the promise if you delivered the
yeah,
knife, I guess
still,
is what
like,
I'm
not a
saying.
promise that it's
It feels like it was something that was it was darker than it needed to
I
be.
think it's just symbolic, like, stabbing someone in the heart. I think that's just
I think it is symbol. I think literally like you stabbed me in the heart. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I
Like,
just think that's had enough. Let's just let it just don't give her this one too. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. I
I
don't
think, it was very cruel to, like, completely, like, make it so he couldn't walk anymore, and then
it was
they were
terrible.
keeping him with the animals, and
That's
then he
terrible.
had given up his will to
terrible.
live because he wasn't eating, so, like,
Yeah,
she
no, it's
felt like
horrific.
she was putting him out of his
No, it
misery.
was a mercy.
Um,
I'm not
For
saying
sure.
but
that. I'm trying to say I feel like there was an alternative here that was not thought through or was very purposefully thought through by the writers. And so
I
that's why
think it
I'm
was
trying to
because they always had that connection, like, he was the one
yeah,
who believed in her and thought she was different than the rest of them, and she said, like, "No, I'm not. I let Javi die for me. I'm not better than the rest of them," and then, like, she was the queen, so maybe, like, she also felt like it was her duty because they
okay.
had done the trial, but, like, they always had that really special bond, like, the bond that he thought that Misty thought she had with him, he actually always had with Natalie,
Right.
and, like, since the
No,
first
no,
season.
I totally get that. I think delivering the knife does the same thing. It's the bond is still there. It's all that. She's doing it. Like, I'm
Yeah.
just saying it saves her a little bit in this, and then her treatment afterwards. By the way, I don't know how Shauna and Natalie ever even talked in current times after some of this stuff. A lot of these people, I'm not sure if you'd get over
Well,
stuff
they
like
didn't
that, right?
really. In the first
She was because
season, like,
Natalie Natalie was a Rolling Stone.
Natalie
She was all
never
around.
talked to Shauna,
But
like,
then they
they
went to the
never
reunion
talked.
together and stuff, right?
But
Like, they
that was
all
after they had gotten back together after
Yeah.
25 years with the Adam thing, like, with they were being
still
blackmailed together,
Right.
that is
like,
true.
so that brought them back together, but before that, Taissa and Shauna were the only ones who, like, but they had all promised, "We're not gonna talk to each other, we're not gonna talk to the press, we're not gonna
Right.
talk about it,"
Yep.
and they separated. I think they yeah,
Okay.
I would not talk to Shauna ever. Shauna's just so annoying in both timelines,
She's also
No,
dangerous.
she's great,
and
and I love
dangerous.
the actress. I love her so
Oh,
I
much,
we
and
love
love
Melanie
her.
Linsky. Yeah.
I
Melanie Linsky
love
doesn't
Melanie
fit the
Linsky.
Shauna we're seeing in the past right now. They have, like, veered off course with the 2 people,
Mhm.
like, where they do not
Yeah.
don't seem like the same person as much anymore, whereas a lot of them still do. That one,
Yeah.
not as much. That's hard. Um, yeah, and Shauna makes but Shauna does make horrible choices in both timelines. Horrible,
She
and I think we
does.
might be setting us up to lose her soon, if I had to guess.
Shauna has,
You think
a
Shauna's gonna
victim.
die?
Mhm.
You
In the
do?
current
Shauna
timeline. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if she'll be in the final season.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know why they're making her so unlikable.
She's
she
going
Maybe
through
it's
something,
has
Katie.
what?
sh
She's going through something.
she's very traumatized, but the thing is, um, I read on Reddit, someone was, like, very astute. They're like, "Shauna thinks that the most suffering equals, like, the holiest. Like she's like the most martyred. So she like everyone was treating her so special after she lost her child to the wilderness and lost Jackie to
And
the
lost
wilderness.
Jackie.
She had suffered the most. And then she wrote in her diary, like, I can't believe they didn't pick me. I can't believe I'm not the queen and blah, blah, blah. Like
No one wants to put that pressure on you. What is wrong? Ugh, okay, teenagers.
But she just took it. She also like was sleeping with Jackie's boyfriend and always like resented Jackie, even though she never really stood up for herself. And so she always had this like weird self like martyrdom and like really weird messed up.
That's selfish. That's not martyrdom when you're sleeping with someone else's boyfriend. Like
no,
that's not
100%. But
that's
then
not poor me. That's you're a jerk.
But she's doing poor me now in the wilderness. And she and then she goes home, and instead of going to college and doing all of her goals, she like marries Jeff and has a baby and fulfills Jackie's like goals to like kind of be like a Jersey housewife instead of like achieving her goals. Like she self-sabotaged all of her things out of like maybe guilt towards what happened to Jackie.
Self-sacrifice.
Or like she felt like she deserved it, but then she hated the life she had created, where she's like married to a furniture salesman. But like she just has always made these really just weird, icky choices, but she thinks she's holier than thou. Like she thinks she's
Maybe.
Somebody pointed out on here that we haven't really seen anything about Shauna's home life when she's a teenager.
Right.
At all. And we have seen a lot of theirs.
You're right. A lot of others, yeah.
Yeah.
Mary Payne, can I ask you a question? Because you haven't been here before. Who started the fire? Who do you think lit the cabin on fire?
Well, definitely not Coach Ben.
Yeah, probably not, right?
Definitely not Coach Ben. It's going to be something like Melissa did it to get Shauna's attention, and then Melissa has to die. It's going to be something like that.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's going to be like the Misty thing. Where
it's going to be like, I'm doing it to save us, or I'm doing it to get attention so that you'll see that I could rescue you, or something like that.
Or I'm breaking the black box because, okay.
I thought like Katie, you made the Van fire connection, which was very astute, which is that Van has now almost died 3 times by fire.
Yeah,
Van died, almost died in the plane when there was a fireball next to her and they left her in the plane. Then they burned her alive when they thought she was dead after she got attacked by wolves. And she said, really? Fire again? And then 3rd time, cabin fire. So I thought that was very interesting. And her dream was fire. Was her dream fire? Yeah. Her dream is when she's trapped. Her not dream, her gas hallucination is when she's trapped in the cabin.
And then they grab her with the
hands. Yes.
They grab her and then the cabin's on fire and she's trapped. So
Van is one of my favorite in current timeline, by the way.
What is?
Van. I don't know why. I'm enjoying Van. And I always enjoy Misty, but like I like Van right now.
Well, I like current Van because I love that actress because she was on 6 Feet Under or whatever.
Yeah, Lauren Ambrose.
I like her.
Great. She's doing a great job. I like
even though they've saddled her with those terrible fake scars.
Can I ask a question? I'm going to go through my notes. First of all, why is Shauna's hair like red now? Is there red hair dye in the wilderness? It's so much lighter than it was. Was maybe she dyeing it dark? For the
it could be that it's summer and it lightened up.
Didn't notice.
Summer.
It's like very red.
It got lighter in the summer.
She does seem to be the least crazy. I mean, her brand of coping, they've all coped. They've all coped in their different way, and hers is to go back to this like 80s, 90s happy time with video cassette tapes and like live in that era and live in the middle of nowhere in a small town and not talk to any of the other girls. That was her way of coping.
But I also more mean that like I like her in the current timeline because she's waking up to Van. We're not waiting 4 episodes for her to figure out that Taissa is not acting normal.
Right.
I think that might be why I like Van. We don't have a waiting. She's smart.
Something. Okay. So interesting. Katie, about that is I was reading a thread on Reddit and they were like, Van is her one true love and Van, all this stuff. And then someone else said, I think Simone is her one true love. Simone never knew bad Taissa, and Van like encouraged bad Taissa to come out multiple times, followed
Bad
her through
Taissa
the
wants
winters.
Van.
Bad Taissa is Van's soulmate, or Van
Wants
is bad
Van.
Taissa's soulmate.
Right.
And maybe good Taissa wants like a normal life with like Simone or something like that.
Right.
So
Well-
it's like a toxic, and maybe now that she's with Van now and all these deaths are happening, it's like the bad Taissa is thriving and eating meat and
We don't
stuff.
quite know what that is yet, though. We still don't quite know what that is.
Or she's just like, everybody's dying. I'm going to die. I may as well live it up and eat all the red meat I can and clog all my arteries. I don't know.
But I think that twice she said to Van, "Help me." Like good Taissa
Oh, no,
is like
it's definitely-
trapped in
she's
there.
trapped.
Yeah.
We're
yes,
literally-
yes. It's good
Right.
Taissa that's saying, help me, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, when Walter and Shauna are going undercover as cable people, Walter says to Shauna, mutually assured destruction can be like a great thing or something, which I just did my rewatch. Shauna says the same thing to Callie about mutually assured destruction.
When?
Just thought that when she's blackmailing Callie finds out that she's having an affair, and Callie says, I'm going to tell Dad. And Shauna goes, are you familiar with the theory of mutually assured destruction? If you tell on Dad, your life is now hell because you live with a bachelor dad who's depressed and dating girls your own age, and you have to spend twice as much time with us because also all your college money goes to divorce lawyers.
Yeah.
And like, so we're both destroyed if you destroy us. And then Walter says it to Shauna about mutually assured destruction.
I think this might be more of a foreshadowing than we think. So what if that comes into play with these scientists? What if this becomes, if you tell on us for this, we'll tell on you for that? Or if there's one scientist left at the end, do you know what I'm saying? What if the scientists start to starve, or it becomes they're mutually assured? So what if that actually is a concept that gets talked about in the wilderness?
Yeah,
that's
what
I'm hoping, because it's such a specific phrase, and then the fact that it's
common,
been used,
though, right? But it is specific. Yeah,
very
really
pretty specific.
I think you're right, but it's also weird that Walter would know it. I feel like Walter knows more. There's something about Walter that we're not. I do love Elijah Wood so much.
Walter said it to Shauna.
Whose idea was it to have?
And in the first season,
plate?
Shauna said it to Callie. Sorry,
Walter's very into the bird.
Walter loves birds. He loves cats. Also, I read a fascinating thread on Reddit that I should send to you, Katie, and it was like, why doesn't Misty have a cat? Because she's obsessed with cats. She always wears the cat sweatshirt, cats on her phone. Instead, she has a bird. People said she is the cat. Her personality is the cat, and she loves capturing things and playing with them before she kills them. It's what she did to the reporter in the first season. She captured the reporter and kept her in the basement and then killed her. And she has Caligula, the bird. She loves it, but it needs to be caged. Like, part of what she loves is like having this like trapped thing. So she is a cat, and that's why she doesn't have cats. But it was fat. I was like, you guys are so smart.
I need to read everything that Reddit person ever wrote about anything, because that's really smart.
So smart. And Walter is all about like cleaning the bird cage. They do like she said, I can't believe I let you clean Caligula's cage and stuff.
I'm
okay.
So upset that they're fighting. All right, go ahead.
I know, it's so sad. So Van Googling the effects of the outdoors on DAT tapes. So
yeah,
does that mean she thinks whoever has that and whoever is blackmailing them has been in the wilderness this whole time and now recently came to the civilization? That, like, she says, how long can it be before it degrades and outdoors? And I was like, so does she think this tape has been in the wilderness for 25 years?
What are you saying? When does she say that? What are you talking about?
When Van hears that Shauna has this DAT tape, and then she hears what's on the tape. When she's in bed next to Van when she's in bed next to Ty, before Taissa has the nightmare, she's Googling effects of the outdoors on DAT tapes. And then she starts reading articles like, how long can DAT tapes survive in the elements?
So they knew those tapes existed, and they left them somewhere in a fire pit, y'all, before they left.
They buried it. They left it in the cave when they left. They threw all the shit they didn't want found into that scary cave, covered it up, and left.
So
Yeah.
then who has now brought them back to the civilization? Like a new group has been rescued, or I don't.
Mary Payne might be onto something. This smells
Did
like
another plane crash out there and new people found stuff?
We don't know how far they are. I think when they actually get out, they're not going to be very far from like a road.
I know.
I think it's going to be like 2
It's gonna
miles.
It's going to be awful. Yeah.
But I think it's more
so far.
It's going to be on the
I
other side
think-
of the lake. It's going to be exactly what you said, Mary Payne. It's going to be
should've
that
just
if they
gotten in a boat.
made a little boat and
I
gone to
think
the other
it's-
side. Yeah.
I think it's that Stephen King, the tall grass thing, where like you think you're right there, but some sort of weirdness is going on and it's actually way farther. So like it's not literally like they are just like a mile away, because I think they really have gone miles in every direction. I think it's some weird cloaking thing or something weird. I still think there's something weird going on.
It is a
Bermuda
Bermuda
Triangle
Triangle type thing.
I
that they're
do
trying to
think
play.
there's something
Yes,
weird
I
going
understand.
on. Yeah.
There's something with the metals and the magnets and the
Yes.
Oh my God,
yeah.
Katie.
What?
Has long to die in cold. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Every time
connection.
you say that about the DAT tape, the Google, I've been thinking has long to die in cold every time.
You
Has
have?
long-
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How funny would that have been if
it's-
the showrunner had put that in?
I
I'd
mean,
put that
For
like
Karen
in the
Reed,
Google search.
yes.
Like it was
They were just like
yeah.
so into the trial when they were writing the season that
And they
just,
looked it
like,
up and it was exactly at 3:21 or whatever. Saying
would
have
been so
Lori
funny.
McKay looked it up. Lori McKay.
Okay, so the Jolly Hitcher, Brand's unhappy being on Dateline, that is the motel that they always talk about. And then it's the motel that Jeff lost the gig renovating with the new furniture. It is so ugly with that wood paneling. It needs to be renovated. I'm sorry. I just had to say it. I felt like
I feel like it's coming back around. I feel like that's now
wood paneling.
Yeah.
Is
Some
it
wood
really?
paneling. I don't know.
No, it's not.
Someone called Joanna Gaines to tell me, because I hate wood paneling more than I can
Joanna
tell
Gaines.
you. Well, that's fine.
Shiplap.
Shiplap is one thing.
I love shiplap, but it's not the same thing.
See, I don't like shiplap and I like wood paneling.
I love shiplap because shiplap is nautical. It's not like 80s parents' basement.
Kimberly, you would enjoy my current
70s parents'
house
basement.
70s parents.
It's a lot of wood paneling that you're just like,
wood
all you have to do is paint it white. Okay, somebody says on here, I saw a picture. Jennifer will give her credit. I saw a picture that the female birder's bag was in Natalie's storage unit.
Ooh,
I knew there was more. Okay,
maybe the DAT tape was in the storage unit.
Was in the storage unit. I thought that too.
Misty got it out, and Misty's fucking with all of them again.
Yeah, absolutely.
She seems so sure that it's not Misty, and I was like, Misty is the only one who was in that storage unit. And I still find it weird that Natalie had a storage unit, because to me, I don't know anything about Enneagrams, but Walter goes, I looked at her Enneagram and I think she'd have a storage unit. And then he found out she had a storage unit. But like, what does she have? She's like a Rolling Stone. Like, what would she have kept? So if it is stuff from the wilderness, but like, why would she bring that back? She wouldn't have any interest in blackmailing her friends. I don't feel like Natalie would do that unless she was like desperate for the money. Why would she bring?
She's just keeping.
Why? But it's like bad memories of the birder that they killed. Like, why would she bring?
I don't know
that bag.
Why did people keep shit? I don't know. You know,
I don't know. She did keep all those tapes. She loved the tapes. Like that immediately. The DAT tape made me think of all the tapes, the mixtapes she kept of Kevin Tran made her, and like her. Yeah. Also, when Van said the only people that use DAT tapes are garage bands and intense birders, I immediately thought, before we had seen the birders, I was like, Natalie is kind of a garage band type person, and she had the thing. But then we saw the birders, so I thought, well, it must be the birders. So,
but let's remember that about the garage band, because I feel like that's not a throwaway line. I think somewhere a flash forward or back, we're going to see that like Jeff was in a garage band or something, you know?
Or that just
Yeah.
like Natalie grabbed the tapes on her way out. Natalie's had them the whole time. She's had the birder bag. She just had it hidden when they left under her furs.
Mhm.
when
But
they
that
left.
means that Misty is trying to get at Shauna by
And there's
but I don't think Misty cut the brakes when she was in the car with her. And I don't think Misty locked her in the freezer. Because
don't
she
think so
still thinks
either.
these people are her friends. Like, she's still not willing to admit that they're not her friends.
She just wants to get to the end of Misty just wants to get to the end and be like, aha, and now you have to be friends with me because I solved it.
Right.
This
Yeah.
all feels like Walter, honestly, because it feels like Walter is trying to
He's always
show Misty that these friends aren't good friends. And
Mhm.
also, Walter had the key to the storage unit before anyone. He
That's
had the key
true.
first and gave it to Misty. So
Yep.
absolutely, he could have gone in there and taken a whole bunch of stuff from Natalie's storage
So
unit.
do you
Wouldn't you?
think
He's a
so
detective.
he's psycho enough to have her think that these people are you're saying he set this up so that Shauna would think that Misty was trying to kill her and not be her friend?
I'm also
Maybe.
saying that the birder bag could have been in the storage unit because Walter had the key and he dropped it and left it in there to fuck with Misty. So when Misty went in there, she saw it because it was his parents' bag and he has it.
That's a good point too. That also could be. But yes,
Right.
Kimberly, also, I think he's messing with Shauna. Like, all of this is to prove that Shauna is not really Misty's friend. And so
Right.
if Misty will, under no circumstances, which is what she told him, I will not be friends with them. They are my true friends. You get out, not them. He's like, well, then they're going to leave you as a friend. He's going
Yeah,
the
I could see
opposite way.
that.
Yeah.
Right. Do you think then he killed Charlotte,
No.
Lottie to
No.
to create some mystery for Misty to solve?
No, I need
No.
to look up the Callie theory. That I need to go to Reddit like Mary Payne said. I need to see what everyone's thinking, how that death happened. But I still think that Lottie knew it was happening. I think Lottie may have had Callie do it. I think that might have been this buttering up that they were doing, is it's like, you have to do this.
Nobody's going to
Yeah.
ask somebody to kill them by pushing them down a random flight of stairs. Like, why not just take them
Unless
out?
it's symbolic. The stairs have to be symbolic for something because she had that vision
The caves?
she had the vision of the stairs specifically in the
Yeah.
first season when Laura Lee was baptizing her.
Did she push someone down the stairs as a child? And that's why the dad said the weird thing about the cops. And no, it was an accident. It was an accident. Did Lottie harm someone else on those stairs? So the stairs is like a double penance for something that happened that nobody knows about.
And then did he put her on that faulty plane to get rid of her? And so what if 20 other people had to die?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
No, I think that's definitely, I don't know if Lottie is like violent or if she just causes violence by her imaginings, but I could see that happening.
Yeah.
When she was a kid growing up in that apartment building. You know who would know is
because they had medicated her.
Yeah. Yeah. They had medicated her so she would be better. But if there was a time before they got her on the medication or she stopped taking the medication, so she pushed down like a child of someone who lived in that thing, and then he paid them off, and then the stairs. I could totally see that.
Yeah, and then after that and then she was medicated after that forever.
Yes, but she had a vision of those stairs.
Incident. Yeah,
I like this.
Yeah.
Walter is pulling the strings just to give Misty something to do.
Well, I mean, that's what Shauna said. Shauna said, did you kill her so that Misty would have this mystery to solve? Like,
wow.
Yeah.
That's love, Walter.
Gina's saying the person who dropped the tape off had blonde hair. It was straight, not curly. I don't know if that necessarily.
How do we see that?
Well, we saw someone dropping off the tape, but I don't think it could be anybody. Like, you could have just hired like a messenger to do it.
Maybe a wig, yeah.
Or a wig.
Or it could be Melissa.
I mean, did it look like this kind of hair? Or is it? Yeah. Is Melissa?
Who is Hillary Swank? She's
Hillary Swank, or is she related to the birders? That's what we don't know. Okay,
Hillary Swank a flashback?
it's impossible to tell from the previews if which timeline she's in. Could
Okay.
she be like after they're rescued in the 90s? I don't know.
We have lots of questions. Do you have any more
Okay.
notes that are important?
Yeah. Let's see. We talked
pick your top 2.
Well, hang on.
Wow. So bossy.
Okay, she's
Oh, I'm
so
so
bossy.
sorry. I'm so sorry. No, it's 8:04. I was like, I'm sorry. I was trying to watch time. I'm terrible. I'm so sorry. I'll just run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
That's why she said that, because she had to go to the bathroom.
I know. No, I think I got everything. The owls are not what they seem. The phone calls with Ty saying "help me." Lottie's dad.
People are wondering if Lottie is related to Adam. I mean, I just can't. It's just too many people.
Well, at least we know Adam is not Javi, because that was the biggest theory all of season 1, was that Adam was Javi and that Shauna didn't recognize him and start sleeping with him. But
why have we figured out for sure that's not true?
Because Javi died in the wilderness and they ate him.
Oh yeah. I'm thinking of Travis. Right.
It's not him. Travis also died in the as an adult, and it wasn't
as
him.
an adult.
Different actor. So I'm assuming they kill the hikers. I'm very excited.
But maybe not Joel McHale.
Maybe not Joel McHale. Maybe he sees it. I don't know.
Yeah, he could see it. He could be the person that walked by first.
He could have, if that wasn't Coach Scott's like spirit leaving.
Yeah.
And it was like why is this person only going after Shauna? Like, this person that seems to be out for Shauna, that Jackie, a vision of Jackie says someone's punishing you for like what you did.
Who else would they punish? Who else would they punish? Because
Taissa and Van did stuff too.
But Taissa's got that dark spirit protector. You know what I mean?
Could it be Jackie's parents? We met them in season 1.
That would be a
and
twist.
they're a-holes. They are full on a-holes. They were so rude. Could that be them?
Katie, when you left, it says Katie wears the pants in this podcast.
I'm so sorry.
She does.
Mean to do that.
Wait,
Kimberly, I'm gonna leave real quick. Can you let me back in?
Yeah. Natalie says because she's terrible. That's just why they're going after Shauna. Just because.
Well, yeah. Annoying. I mean, I think they're going after Shauna because who else would they go after? Everybody else is not as terrible as Shauna is terrible.
Yeah, maybe Shauna does stuff as the Antler Queen that's like unforgivable, because we haven't seen her reign yet. So yeah, Shauna asked for a description of the Queen of Hearts phone owner. I think they very much led us to believe that it was Melissa, because they kept interjecting the flashbacks of teen Shauna and Melissa with Shauna in the present going, who left that phone for me and who was it? So what happened to Melissa? Don't know.
I just want to say that I'm very glad that here, but in episode 5, we're getting somewhere.
We are.
Because 1 through 4, I was like, please don't make me turn on this program that I love so much.
Right. No, I wouldn't let you. I'm making you stick it out to the very end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Even though I'm not as well versed as you are, and I wish I had time to do a rewatch. I really do.
I know you just watch so many other shows. Everyone subscribe to Pink Shade. Tell them what you cover.
Oh, okay. 90 Day with Kimberly comes out on Tuesdays. Mondays, tomorrow, I do Love After Lockup with Keisha. Thursdays, I do rotating co-hosts on Pop and Bravo. This week will be Amy Phillips. And I cover 90 Day Last Resort with Amy Archer. Just covered all 10 episodes of Temptation Island. Dropped when Temptation Island came out with Amy Archer. And before that, did Love is Blind with Keisha. All 13 episodes came out before the show came out, the day of. And coming up soon, I'll be covering The Valley with Keisha.
Oh, you are. Interesting.
I'm gonna keep Pop and Bravo on Thursdays like normal.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be on subscription for just Valley coverage. And Keisha kind of knows about it, but she doesn't really know it, which makes it fun. So then I can like what you're doing with me with this show. Like I'll have all the
Educating.
knowledge. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I
Yeah,
love
she's
it.
gonna go watch season 1. So yeah.
Also, by the way, there are people on Reddit who would watch this and go, "That girl has no idea what she's talking about," because there's always someone who knows way more than you do. And
I was listening
like,
last week
on
and I
Reddit.
couldn't believe how much you knew last week. Both of you. I couldn't believe it last
Well,
week.
it's just because I did a rewatch and I do have a pretty good memory, but like I did a rewatch
It's a
recently
really
and
good memory.
but on Reddit people know way more than I do because they do a lot of like the investigating stuff like for the future. Like they analyze scene by scene the opening credits and stuff and I
But
don't
you
want
guys
to
have
do
done that.
Like,
You guys have done that.
but I really just want to watch and like enjoy what's going to happen and not be like I don't want to try to figure out who Hillary Swank is. Like I want to be surprised when it happens. So,
But you guys did that with the opening, like dun, 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 dun. You guys went by like frame by frame by frame by
no,
frame.
we didn't, did we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we do that?
You did.
Yeah.
We did.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, we analyzed.
Well,
we've analyzed.
we didn't do it this season. I don't want to do that anymore. We didn't
With
do
all
it
the
this
quick cuts
season.
and you had it frozen
Yeah.
and then you put it up and discuss. Okay. Because like this season, they have the quick cuts and they have the people vomiting.
Yeah.
There's
And
so much vomiting in the
we've seen Shauna
opening
vomit on her
credits.
kitchen counter.
Also, that makes me think like of the gas or something, like the poisoning, like there something like that in the
But
caves. I don't know.
they showed somebody young in the jacket vomiting into like a trash can. So it makes you
Yes.
think like, okay, that's like a high school vomit drink. And then they showed, I think it's Shauna that vomits on the kitchen counter. And we've seen that this season. It happened. She threw up on the kitchen counter. Well, it was in Shauna's kitchen. So maybe
No,
it
was Misty.
threw up on the kitchen counter. Yeah.
It was Misty because Callie drugged her and got her drunk and spiked
Yeah.
her drink.
Right.
And
Yeah,
then
all the
she threw up. Yeah.
So I was like, that thing I recognized from the from the opening cut.
Usually they pick stuff from early on in the season, I feel like, so you recognize it, but there's still some stuff. Like I don't know
Easter
why
eggs.
they included that. Like why include that vomit, those 2 vomit shots, you know? It's,
Right.
like are they trying to tell us something or is it just about like the raw like animalistic nature of like
Yeah.
Katie,
Misty
last
vomited.
question before we go. You had high praise in the first season for their music choices. I wanted to know how you felt now. Are you as disappointed as I am?
Yeah, I've had a rough go of it. Also the score seems to be a little off. I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm really picky about it, but like it takes you out of it if the music's too peppy. And so like some of that first and second season, like when they like the climbing up walls, like there's a few moments that I remember them using using music really effectively. And I have not had that at all this season yet with any like song drop. Remember the opening of season 2? I think they used 17, that song by Sharon Von Eaton. Like it's just as upsetting. I want there to be
season 1,
like,
the music was
Travis,
incredible.
Yeah,
Travis
so
and Natalie like had their own song.
Oh,
like,
they had Vienna. Oh, so good. Like I mean, there were things that I went and looked up the song to download, and I have not. I don't know why. Maybe it's just not jiving with me this season. But
well, when Van and Taissa start making out after the waiter dies in the alley, that's glycerin
Bush.
Bush.
Yeah.
So I thought that was okay. And then Misty is humming. Thank you, Natalie. Misty is humming Breakfast at Tiffany's. Like they say, we've got nothing in common. So
I feel like they used that like really popular though and kind of obscure really well in the first couple seasons, like songs I had forgotten. We still have not, but we have gotten. Have we gotten Tori Amos yet? Because I feel
we
like
did last season. Last season we got some great Tori Amos. Yeah.
That's fitting.
Yeah. Cornflake Girl. Yeah.
Yeah,
we could have gotten. We can have a few Tori Amos in there, but it's still there's some.
There was
they used
Cranberries. They did.
Okay. I'm thinking.
I think a Cranberries song.
Cranberries too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is. I don't know why this season is. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it also could be just personal taste that there's nothing I've liked this season that they've played. But Mary Payne, did you have anything that you were like, oh, that's good? Like,
No, I haven't noticed the music at all. The first season, every person I spoke to about the show, I was like, and you will die for the music because it's from my generation. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's just like it hits like like high school, college age for me, like all that great grunge type music. And
Mhm.
I haven't had that feeling this season at all. And I'm telling you again, episode 5 got me back in because 1 through 4, I was like, now I'm hate watching this. I'm furious. But episode
Yeah.
5, now I'm back in. Now I'm
Yeah.
back in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And episode 6 was like, now I need to. Episode 6, I was
Yeah.
like, where's the coming next week?
Yes.
Because
Yes. And I had to go find it.
Mhm.
Was
Mhm.
very worried it was a hallucination. I was very worried. And I was like, okay,
Mhm.
no, it's not. They're here. They're real. We're good. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of don't want it to be Joel McHale because that will make it feel like not a hallucination, but like just like a parody, like something like the guy from Veep is so funny, like, and
But he's
it's
not
weird that it's him.
He's always a smaller character. Is he
He's
a
not as
lead in it?
recognizable as Joel
Yeah.
He's not
McHale
as
is.
recognizable.
Joel McHale
but
is talk
Joel
soup, right?
McHale, if like Joel McHale walks in, I'll be like, I feel like very taken out of it.
He was
Right.
also
Like
in The Bear, Katie. Joel McHale was in The Bear as a very like dramatic asshole.
Oh, yes, that's right.
role.
I've seen The Bear. Yeah,
And
he
was,
is.
and so at
Yeah.
least,
But I
you
feel
know,
like unrecognizable actors would be better for such a shocking
yes.
thing.
Did you
Like
guys talk
when the others on Lost came in, it was like unrecognizable people when the others came, you know?
I never saw Lost. Thanks for ruining it for me. Just kidding.
But they should use unrecognizable people more. I feel like that's better. It
Yeah.
could be people really want to be on the show, though. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
about that too.
Like maybe Joel McHale is a super fan.
Do
Yeah,
we know
Hilary
what the-
Swank doesn't need work. She's got 1 or 2 Oscars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
Leave it for the little people.
Akila, though, did we talk about the three-eyed bear? And is there any
No.
ideas? Do you guys have any ideas for the three-eyed bear?
I didn't like the Chuck
The
E. Cheese
animatronics?
animatronics. Yeah.
No
was
one
like, this
likes
is-
that.
Yeah.
This
No
is
one's
weird.
Yeah.
okay with that. All of that's not good. Not good. Not good.
It's I don't know if what's happening with Akila or if these visions mean anything or she's literally just getting poisoned with gas and so she's having and they're trying to make it make sense. But a three-eyed bear reminds me of the three-eyed raven from Game of Thrones. And
Or was it the, you know, the
what
is the third eye situation? Like, you know?
it's very much like
Mary
you have
Payne, have you
to
seen Game of Thrones?
use
No,
your
and I
third
never will.
eye.
So go ahead. I'm never going to watch
No,
it.
I can't. Nope.
No,
I-
I'm never going to watch it.
Natalie
Never.
says,
I got stuck
choose
the other
the bear.
day on it was groups of people. It was like these bars watching Hodor. And I had forgotten how it just like rips your chest open. I was like, and it was just watching people's reaction to
Yeah.
that scene was like, it's one of the characters, Mary Payne, that you like. It's one of those characters you don't know how attached you are until you're like, oh, wait. Like, yeah, it's that kind of thing in the show.
And Hodor dies, whoever Hodor is.
Yes. But it's also like this revelation of like what that name means, and it's all at the same moment, and you're watching the penny drop and all these different people. So Kimberly, that's something for you to go look up.
Yeah, I remember the mashups of people watching the Red Wedding,
and they're just going like this,
just freaking out. Yeah,
people
were like, people who had read the books, Mary Payne, filmed other people like in their families watching the scene coming up because they knew what was going to happen because they read the books. So like, there's a bunch of montages of people like watching these like shocking.
There's those
scenes.
of the Red Wedding too. Yeah.
What does that have to do with the three-eyed bear?
Nothing.
There's a three-eyed raven.
And then but there was something else that I thought of with Akila, and she's always carrying that animal. Now she's always carrying an animal, right?
Always.
So who else in like iconography is always seen with an animal, like a sheep? Like think about Jesus.
Are we going Jesus? Are we going
I'm
Jesus?
saying maybe that's what they're doing is some sort of like she's constantly with like cradling the animal. She's the only one. And I'm like, there's something here that they're trying to do. And I don't know what it is.
Saint Francis
of Assisi?
Was the patron saint of
patron saint of
animals.
animals.
Patron saint of animals.
So I'm not.
Mm.
All right, I'm just late to the party. I'm not smart. I'm literally just late to the party.
Well,
Thank you.
I'm not
what you
Catholic, so I
just
didn't
said,
know that.
though,
I didn't know
what
either.
Katie, what you just said made me think of okay, well, two things with the bear. A, Laura Lee always had that stuffed bear, Harold or whatever its name was, that she
Howard?
loved. That
Howard Barrington.
No, I think it was Harold or something, but it
I don't like that
exploded
name for a
and
bear.
caused her plane to go down.
Okay.
But the bear coming into camp was very much like when Lottie said, "We're not going to be hungry anymore" in the first season, and then the bear came in and like Leonard, thank you, is the bear's name. The real bear came into their camp and like gave itself to Lottie so she could stab it. So that made me think of that, like that already happened. That was something in the past with the bear coming into their camp. But in this vision Akilah had, she's like going, "Where is everybody?" Because people were all sitting at the dining table together because they have they have like a picnic table, and then they're all eating. And then she's like, "Where is everybody?" Because they all disappear. And then she's like alone at the camp. And then the bear comes in. So again, that leads us to believe Akilah is left.
Akilah gets left. That's what people are saying. She gets left.
That's it.
Akilah is the sacrifice.
This was a really good question here from Sheila too. What is the deal with the repro divorce show and Mary Payne?
Does that mean something, or is it just a parody of like a Bravo show?
Or does a parody of in my mind, it's like a parody of our current times and the stupid shit we watch on our television.
But it's wonderful though. I was like, yeah, I'd watch that. Yeah,
of course, I'd cover it.
But it's always Callie that's watching it and like thinks it's so amusing. She loves
because she's
it.
a teenager and she's like, yeah, this is and the parents are like, what is this shit? You know?
But again, that's that weird thing that the show does where it tries to veer into comedy. With this parody reality show, you don't have to show what they're watching. Like there's no need for this, but
they could just be laughing at the TV.
Yeah, they could just be laughing at the TV. But twice now we have seen an actual show that they have filmed, like with actors, and like a show that they have made up and branded, and like, so does it mean something, or are they just trying to do some comedy? Like,
I know you guys may have discussed this last week, but the no-eyed man, whatever he's called.
Yep, no-eyed man. That's it.
Okay, the no-eyed man.
Yep.
No.
And the ice cream commercial.
Man with no eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why in
and
the world
the
would he
ice
be in
cream
a
commercial.
Why would that be a person from an ice cream commercial?
It should not be.
Well, he had eyes in the commercial. They like got really big when he ate the ice cream. I think like he had brain freeze or something.
Ice cream.
And then did they fall out?
Yeah, he could fall out in the commercial.
I thought they just like kind of got really big, like Roger Rabbit type of
But
thing.
like that creepy,
it was creepy.
Goth looking guy is selling you ice cream. Like I didn't understand that at all.
He looks like Jack White,
yes.
or Slender Man.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to Jack White's ice cream shop, but not Slender Man.
Me too, because he's very talented.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll go say
again,
congratulations on being talented.
I think she just picked up on something from her childhood, and now. Like there's always been this weird demon thing, but the reason she imagines it like that is because she saw that commercial as a kid.
She thinks it attached to her from the television somehow.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's actually that. It's just the form that whatever that thing took, like that she first saw when her grandma died, and her grandma said, don't take my eyes when her grandma was dying. And like that's when she first saw it in the mirror. So I think like the grandma was actually, there is something in Taissa's family that people see this figure with no eyes, and then now it takes the form
or was
of
the grandma watching TV and we see like that part of that commercial in the TV?
No, there's but that would be good, but there's no TV playing in that scene. And I don't think, and there's just a mirror. There's like a standing mirror, and Taissa sees the figure. There's always a non-zero chance Jack White will kidnap you and make you his drummer.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I'm too old for him anyway.
No.
Back in the 80s, my mom got drunk at a party and saw St. Francis in a tree. That could be what this whole show is.
I like this theory that we're on here. I feel like this is This is good.
I think we've come up with some really good. What was the one that you said, Katie, that I was like, oh my God, that's so good. Like Lottie killed someone on those stairs. I like that theory
that's
a lot.
something we're gonna get.
I like our theory that we have had since the kind of last season that someone's getting left behind as a sacrifice or a trade,
possibly multiple,
for the wilderness to let these people go.
My theory is that Walter is the child of the birders.
Right.
Yes,
that's a
good
one on Reddit. And I think his outfits really do scream child of bird scientists. Like
I had another really good theory too, and now I've already forgotten it. Can somebody help me remember it?
Was it
and he loves cleaning Caligula's cage. Why do their outfits do seem like we saw Shauna wearing a raincoat, and I was like, why? We've never seen that raincoat before. Okay.
That's what I was going to say about the difference between Shauna in the wilderness and Shauna now. Shauna now is kind of funny. They've written her funny. The villainy plays are funny. So Shauna in the wilderness, there's not a drop of humor, and there never has been in her character.
Never.
I don't feel like you would ever describe Shauna as like
great point.
Jackie maybe, but not Shauna. And so I don't understand.
Jackie was funny, and Shauna would just be like if you make a joke towards teen Shauna, she would just sulk and like roll her eyes, like she was too cool for school or something.
So Shauna,
or
now,
I have to be sad right now.
Shauna like, present time's just written a lot sparklier than Shauna back then. That's all.
And I don't know if it's the actress or the way she is. She's just a lot funnier. Yeah. I still don't think she makes good choices, but like she's funny. I guess trauma makes you funny. Yeah.
That is true. We know that. Yeah. That's true.
Shauna did think that Callie dumping the blood and guts was funny, which I did not think that was funny. But Shauna is just Shauna is like an angsty teen that's always angry, and she's been angry but even before the wilderness. She was like angry for no reason. Now she's had a lot of bad things happen to her, so she has reason to be angry, but now she's made it to be this like martyrdom of like, I've had the worst things happen out here to me.
Shauna's the only one that ever got married and had a family. No, none of them.
No, Taissa.
Taissa got married because she's married to Simone.
Were they married?
They had Sammy.
They had the baby,
Sammy, who's really creepy, and we still don't understand what Sammy's drawings are.
I think he's adopted by, and his parents were weird demons, because that child is there's something wrong with that child.
I'm going to revisit before our next thing. I'm going to revisit those paintings on his wall, because there are like screenshots of all of those things he was drawing with the no-eyed man that were not okay.
Well, I thought they were mostly of bad Taissa, the woman in the tree that was eating dirt.
Let's double check.
Okay, there might have been fire in one of them.
Because I would also like to know why.
What, like, is he foreshadowing or actually what's the opposite? He's drawing stuff that happened in the wilderness or something.
Well, also, sorry, can somebody explain to me the picture really quick that Travis had that somebody had drawn, and it was all the people?
It was the one person that was floating and the three people under.
Yeah, what is that?
And they showed that picture had been shown before. Did you see that? It was like on Reddit. They were like, "Oh, we've seen this picture before." Because somebody jump in.
Javi drew it. Javi drew the picture before. The body and then three birders coming upon it.
Yeah, to me, I didn't know if it was floating.
Travis drew it under the influence of drugs.
Yeah, so perhaps it's Coach Ben's body laid out, and then the people walking up and seeing it. That could be. Yeah,
Taissa's kid. People are. I saw it on Reddit, and now I'm never going to be able to find it again. But that drawing, it would look like the person with the three people. They showed it from a previous season. That picture. Had been shown.
Sammy had.
Maybe this, and people are saying this. Maybe Sammy drew it.
I'm telling you, Sammy, that boy ain't right, and
we know that boy ain't right.
No, that boy ain't right. But he knew right away that Taissa was not his real mom. He's like, "Oh, it's you."
He knows.
Yeah. Everybody knows. No, she's not. No, she's not well. And also, Van needs to get away because Van is going to die by fire. I'm very worried about that. I need all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Thank you, everyone. Any last thoughts? Thank you, Mary Payne, so much for joining us. Everyone, make sure you're
Thank you,
subscribed
Mary
to Pink
Payne.
Shade. And if you're new here, check out our podcast, which is A Date with Dateline, and we do funny episodes about Dateline and stuff like that.
It's so
So,
good.
And check
Thank
out Pink Shade, who does a funny podcast about everything funny.
Oh, when you were gone,
I promoted myself when you're
when you were gone, I had her pitch and go over her schedule for the week, so they know all
Yes,
the shows
it's-
she's covering.
Oh,
it's
good,
rough.
Yeah,
good, good.
she
It's
covers a
rough.
lot of shows.
It's rough. Yeah.
Save Steve the dog. Yeah, we hope Steve is fine. And don't forget to like the video, please, and share with a friend
Subscribe and all that
who
to the
watches
video.
Yellow
to YouTube.
Jackets.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jake.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jake. And we'll be back with normal lighting. Yay!
We're gonna figure out Katie's camera. We love all you guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Thank you, Mary Payne.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye,
Mary Payne.
everybody. Bye bye.